Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Integrity Connect training on some of our lesser known features that help drive your success. My name is Melissa Robas, and I'm the manager of the new business department here at Premier. And I also head the Premier platform support team. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy day to join us and to learn more about how Integrity Connect can help you save time and sell more. Feel free to type your questions in the Q&A box, and I'll try to address those at the end of the presentation. So we've got a lot to cover today, so I want to get started. I want to talk about plan, enroll, and client sync, just a brief overview of Legacy Safeguard, going to some marketing campaigns, how you can utilize your calendar and reminders, the View As feature, My Benefits, Ask Integrity, and hopefully if we've got time to chat about Lead Marketplace as well. So let's get rolling here. Get over to my screen, correct screen here. There we go. All right. So let's dive right in by talking about Plan, Enroll, and Client Sync. So you can find your free, everything here is free, your free personalized agent website by going up to your name, or excuse me, your picture or your initials here, going to Account, and then clicking on Agent Profile. This is where you will find your personalized agent website. You can copy this link and send it to a client. You can put it on your business cards. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can share that information with your clients. And let me just show you quick what it looks like. So any information that you enter in this section here on your agent profile is what's going to show on your Plan Enroll account. So the more information you can put in, the better for your clients, the more they'll be able to connect with you. So it'll have your name, it'll have your NPN, what products you carry. If you uploaded a picture, it will have that, your phone number. If you choose to allow them to schedule their own appointment with you, that will show. This Get Synced option is the client sync that I want to talk about in a few minutes. We now also offer the option to upload your agency logo so that it displays on your personalized agent website. And you can do that very easily. It's again under your agent profile page, and you would just upload your company logo right here in this section. So super easy to do. It's small on the page, but it does again help connect your clients to you and to your agency. All right. If they click View More, they can get a little bio about you. Again, whatever information you put in under that agent profile is what's going to show. So we'll show your years of experience. If you put in an address or an office hours, it'll show those. It does also give them the opportunity then to call you or to schedule an appointment, again, if you set that up. And then they can also fill out a very quick and easy permission to contact form. Basically, just their name, zip code, phone number, email address. They check that box and boom. That then puts them into your Integrity Connect system and turns on that permission to contact. So two birds with one stone, right? All right. The other way that you can get your information over to your clients, a couple different ways. You can send them a quote. So when you run a quote through the clients and you send that comparison, that plan comparison to your client, when they open up that plan comparison, it will open up in your Plan Enroll website. They will have the opportunity right there to enroll themselves, or of course, they can always go back to you and have you assist them in with the enrollment process. Okay, we're just going to refresh the screen. I'm wondering if they're doing a little bit of an update this morning. I swear this was working perfectly like 5 minutes ago. So while we're waiting for that, let me show you what an email will look like if you send them a plan comparison. So they will actually get two different emails. They'll have one that says, hey, here's the plan details that we discussed, and they can click on that link to view the plan. And then they will get a second email with the code that they will need to enter to actually view that plan comparison. Both of them will come from a no reply at planenroll.com website, and it will have your agent information in the email as well so that they can see that it is coming from you. So when they click on the link, it'll have their name, and again, it will have your information at the top. They just either type in or paste in that code. There we go. And it will pull up the plans that you sent them for that comparison. I do want to point out that we now have the ability to include their current policy in the plan comparison. So if you want to show them, hey, this is what you are currently on, and these are the one or two plans that I'm suggesting maybe might be a good fit for you, they can compare all the benefits for their existing plan versus the proposed plan. So that is an exciting new feature that I think will be very beneficial, especially during this AEP. Now, this is a test site, so it doesn't have any selling permissions, so it doesn't give them the ability to enroll, but in your live site, it will show a blue enroll button here if you are ready to sell with that carrier and that plan is available for enrollment on a third-party site. So yours would have a blue enroll button that they would be able to click, and then it would take them to the application. And the application process for them is the exact same as it is for you as an agent. It takes them out to Connecture, to the Medicare app, and fills out the application there. So the enrollment process is exactly the same as what you would see. Okay, and I'm going to just try logging out here, logging back in, see if for some reason that just gets us back in and gets us going. Yes. Okay. Well, while clients is thinking here, we're going to go ahead and skip forward to to the marketing campaigns, and we'll come back to clients and hopefully be able to show you a little bit more. So marketing campaigns will allow you to send an email to multiple clients at one time. So no more sitting down in your Outlook or um, your Google Mail or whatever it is and typing out individual emails. You can go in here, you can set up a campaign, you can choose one of the pre-approved compliant emails that we have already set up. There is an option coming later this year where you can type in your own message, but for right now, you've got a number of pre-approved compliant emails that you can choose from. You can set your parameters as far as who you want it to send to, and then a couple clicks of the button, and you are ready to go, and it will send that email out to everybody that you have designated. So I'm just going to come up here, hit New Campaign. We're going to give it a name. And it doesn't matter what you type in for the name, that's just for your reference. It makes no difference to anyone else. So just type in whatever's going to make sense for you. Here it's going to give you the option to send an email or a text message. A text message has to be one-to-one, so you'll only be able to send a message to one person at a time. But an email you can send out to an entire group. Here's that list of pre-approved compliant messages. You'll see that we offer both English and Spanish options. For you to use, just depending on what your clients prefer. So you could thank them for enrolling into a plan. So that'd be an easy one to set up for AEP. So whenever you do an enrollment, it sends out a thank you email. You could have clients create a plan enroll account or update their information in their plan enroll account. You can send them a scope of appointment. You can say, happy birthday, happy Merry Christmas, happy Thanksgiving, whatever. All those different options are out there. You can also say, hey, give me a call or text me to talk about your plans. So I'm going to go ahead and do create a plan enroll account. It's going to default to say, I think you're going to want to send this to all your contacts who do not currently have a plan enroll account. If that's what you want, then perfect. Hit preview campaign. If you want, excuse me, you can also filter it a different way. So if you want to send it to all your leads or to all your new clients, you can do that as well. I'm just going to let it default. I might hit preview campaign. It will show you the subject line, the preview, the body of the text, and what the call to action is. Or otherwise, you can also click this double arrow here, and it will actually give you an actual look of what that email is going to look like. And again, it would have your agent information down here at the bottom. It's going to give them that prompt to get synced. So, and it will even tell you, okay, we're going to send it to 25 contacts. And if everything looks good, you're ready to go, you would just hit send campaign, and then it will send out those 25 emails. A few clicks of a button and you're ready to go. No more sitting down, typing out all those individual emails. So that is a great option for especially prior to AEP or during AEP, however you want to utilize it. And then I do want to mention also that you can get stats on any campaign that you send out. So you'll be able to see, okay, I sent out this test of client sync, and one person delivered. It was delivered to one person. They did not open it or click it yet. So you would be able to see, like, if we send it to 20, let's see, it was delivered to maybe 23 of 25. 15 opened it, and 10 actually clicked into it. So, excuse me. So you can see stats too as far as the effectiveness of your campaign. All right, let me go back to clients and just see if it's going to load for me. If it's not, we'll move on and we'll come back again. Okay, we'll just skip on down to calendar. So Integrity has built in a calendar that you can use for scheduling appointments or even setting reminders. It's a totally optional feature. You do not have to use it. Sorry. But some people do find it helpful. And you do not have to offer the option for a client to schedule an appointment up here. If you do not want them to have that ability to schedule an appointment, you can just come up here to your account. You come over to calendar settings. You'll go to configure. And turn off scheduler. Actually, let's see, where's the one? That's not the one. I apologize. I told you the wrong place. It's under agent profile. And where it says scheduler settings, you would turn that off. And now it's no longer visible on your Plan Enroll website. So if I refresh this, it should take off that option to schedule an appointment for the clients. So, but if that is something that you want them to be able to use, just leave it on there. Okay. So for the calendar, you can schedule an appointment or set a reminder in several different ways. You can actually go to your calendar tab and add a reminder or schedule an appointment. Excuse me. Under the clients, you can add a reminder or a calendar or schedule an appointment through the client's profile as well. Lots of different ways to do it. You can schedule or set up the calendar so that it automatically syncs with your Outlook calendar or your Google Calendar. So if you want, so that way you won't double book yourself. If you've got something saved in your Outlook calendar, if clients go to schedule an appointment through the Plan Enroll website, they won't see what you've got on your calendar. They'll just see that that time is blocked out and not available for an appointment. So you can hit add a reminder. You do have to tie it to a client. So if I'm going to tie it to Helen Johnson, you would set a date that you want to complete that reminder. So I'm going to set it for tomorrow. You can choose a time or you can leave the time blank for reminders. It doesn't matter. And I'm just going to make a note to say, call Helen, wish her a happy birthday. Now you've got that on your calendar as a reminder for tomorrow, and it will also pop up in your dashboard as well. You can also schedule an appointment. Again, you have to tie it to a customer. You don't have to choose the product type. That's just for your reference. So you can leave that blank. You do need to choose a duration, whether you want 30-minute appointment or 60-minute appointment. I know they are working on adding more time durations. It's just not there yet. So I'm going to say we're going to schedule a 60-minute appointment. Now these formats will only show what you have selected when you go to configure your scheduler. So if you do not want to provide in-home visits or appointments, you can turn that option off. So that way it will only schedule either an office appointment or a phone call or whatever you determine you want to offer. So I'm going to select an office meeting. It's going to make me select the product type. Here it's going to prompt me, since I selected health, it's going to say, do you need to send them a scope of appointment? If you've already got that scope, you can easily hit no. Otherwise, you can hit yes, and it will take care of that at the same time. So it's going to say, how do you want to send that scope? Do you want to email them, text them, or enter in a different email or phone number? This 48-hour rule, I know it's going away, but for right now, it does still come into play. If you have that track 48-hour waiting period button checked, you will not be able to complete the scope until it's been at least 48 hours from the time that the client signed that scope. If you turn it off, then you'll be able to complete the scope as soon as they send it back to you. Okay, so now it has sent that scope of appointment, and it's going to say, okay, let's schedule that appointment. What day and time do you want to set that? So if I choose Monday, it's going to say, okay, these are the times that you have available on Monday. Next, how do you want to notify your client that you have set that appointment? You can email them or text them. Again, you can send the notice in Spanish if that is their preferred language. I'm going to say email. Once you hit save and send, it is going to send them an email or a text letting them know that you have set an appointment for them for Monday at 9 o'clock. It's going to last an hour. Here's the address of where they need to go. And then it will also send them a reminder about 24 hours prior to the appointment. So they get that little extra reminder that, hey, I've got that appointment tomorrow, don't forget. The system at this time does not allow for more than one office location. So when you are configuring your scheduler or putting in your, updating your agent profile, you can list your other locations, like say in your bio if you want, and just make sure that when you talk to your client, you'll have to specify which location they need to go to. So just wanted to throw that out there because we do get that question sometimes. All right, so now I've got that appointment on my calendar. There we go, Monday at 9 o'clock. All right, I'll go back and I'll show you what some of those emails look like too. So when you send a client a scope of appointment, it's going to come again from that no reply at plain enroll email address. It's going to have your name in there. It's going to provide a link to complete that scope of appointment. And when they do, it will take them again to your plain enroll website. It automatically defaults to have all the products checked, but the client can turn off whichever one they do not want to talk about. It will pre-fill the scope with whatever information you have entered into their profile. So if all you have in there is their name and phone number, or their name and their email address, they'll have to go in and enter in that the rest of the information, the street address, zip code, that kind of thing. It does give the option for a POA or an authorized rep to sign the scope. And then all they have to do is check that box and hit submit. All right. There is also, go back, show you the appointments email address or email. So you can see in this instance that we had scheduled an appointment. It was a 30-minute phone call set for tomorrow at 10. They can add it to their calendar if they want. And then here's that reminder email that they will get saying, hey, just a reminder, Jeannie scheduled an appointment with you for tomorrow at 10. And then it gives them the option to contact their client, contact their agent if they need to get a hold of you. All right. Anything that you schedule in your calendar does also show up on your dashboard. It will show up at the top here for your calendar. You can finish an item. So if, hey, I did have that phone call with Gus, I'm going to go ahead and finish that. Perfect. Boom. It's off your reminders. And the same with, if you set yourself a reminder, you can complete that. You can also go in, edit your reminders, delete your reminder. And with your appointments, you can mark it as canceled if you want. And you could even go so far as to say client missed the meeting, they just didn't show up, or hey, something came up, I wasn't able to make it as the agent. So you can mark that in. All of that information gets logged under the client's activity, just so that you've got that record, that hey, we scheduled this, the client didn't show up. Just helps create all those records for you. Okay, it's looking like they are doing some kind of update or something today that client tab is not working. So, all right, let me go in and answer a couple questions real quick. So, Erin, yes, there is a way to get your client information from Medicare app over to Integrity Connect. It won't transfer everything. So like it won't transfer the plan details, it won't transfer the meds or the doctors, but your basic client information can be easily transferred over. So I will throw that out for you. Yes, that is an option. And if you've got questions on how to do that, feel free to reach out to me after the webinar. I'll provide you some email addresses and phone numbers, and I'd be glad to walk you through that. And George, what does get synced mean? It's a great question. Get synced gives your client the option to go in, create their own plan enroll account, enter their own doctors, their own prescriptions, their pharmacies, and basically keep that information updated on their end. It can save you a ton of time. Just think about those clients who have, 10, 15, 20 medications and how much time that can take for you to sit there and enter them all in. If your client is at all tech savvy or has any computer experience, has a family member or friend who can help them out with it, it is wonderful, honestly. Any information that they enter into that plan enroll account when they get synced, it automatically links over to your account and updates all that information in real time. So it's not like they're going to have their own little private account over here and then your data over here doesn't match. It will sync that information up as soon as they enter it in. Historically, I've seen it sync within like 5-10 seconds, I think. So it goes very quickly, very smoothly, and you'll be able to have all of that updated, and it'll save you that much more time when you sit down to have that appointment with your client. And it does also create an activity log showing that they updated their information. So, if there's ever a question later on, like, hey, why doesn't this plan cover my medication? You said it would, but they were the ones who entered in that medication information. So if they entered it in wrong, I don't know if it's going to save you any liability, but, at least you can point out and say, hey, but they were the ones who entered it. I was just going based off of the information that they provided. So anyway, just a little plug out there for that. Let me see if it will let me. It is not going to do anything with clients. Okay. So we talked about marketing campaigns. We talked about scheduling. If you do need to cancel something, cancel an appointment, say something comes up or whatever, there are some options here. In the calendar, you would have to cancel the appointment and then reschedule it. There's no way to go in and edit a calendar item. So like this appointment that you've got tomorrow at 10 with Helen, there's no way to go in and edit that information. If she needs to reschedule for 1 o'clock instead of 10 o'clock, you would have to go in, cancel that appointment, and then schedule a new one to get that on your calendar. Right. If you mark a reminder as completed, it will no longer show up on your calendar. If you mark an appointment as finished, it'll still show up on your calendar. It just won't show up as a reminder of something that you need to do. I don't know how many of you guys have anyone who helps you out during AEP or even pre-AEP, but there's a great feature called View As. This feature allows you to give someone the ability to go into your account to maybe add your client information. If you get, I don't know how your system works. Some people like to do some kind of like a contact form where the client can fill out all their information, maybe put their meds on there, and then the agent would then go in and actually type that in. If you've got someone who helps you out with that information, you can give them View As permissions where they can actually go into your account without needing your username, your password, your multi-factor authentication code. They can go in, they can add those clients, they can send out the scope for you, they can even run a quote if that's something that you want. Maybe you've got an office where all the agents kind of work together, helping each other out. That agent could then go in, send that quote out to the client. Only thing they can't do with View As is they cannot complete an enrollment. They could go in, set up marketing campaigns for you. They could go, oops, excuse me, go into your calendar, schedule appointments for you. Um, it works so good if you've got an assistant or someone else helping you out. So to do that, you would go down to this View As tab here. Make sure you're on the View As Me. Make sure that is highlighted and click Invite. You have two options. You can either give another agent. That agent must have a valid NPN and must have already set up an IntegrityCONNECT account. Or you can choose a non-agent, which would be like an assistant, or even if you have a temporary helper in your office for AEP, it could be that. You just type in their name and their email address. Their email address gets typed in twice, and then you hit Send Invite. It sends them an email saying, hey, Melissa has offered or invited you to be able to view her account. If that's something you want to do, they would either go in and, if they don't already have an account, they would go in and register for an account. This would be more for non-agents. Or they can go in and hit confirm, and that basically just accepts the invite. If they don't get that email for some reason, once in a blue moon, the invite doesn't come through, or it went to their junk email or something, they can log into their account. They would hit the View As Others, and they would see that you had invited them, and they could go in and accept that invitation. Or if you want, you can go in and into your View As and resend that invite, and that will just trigger another email over to them. Now, if you've got someone who leaves the office or your temporary worker is done, you can go in at any time and remove their access. It's just 2 clicks of a button. Just click on those three action, three dots there, and hit Remove Access, and then they will no longer be able to go in and view your account. All right. And I can actually show you what it looks like for the person who is going to view your account. So I'm not an agent, so I would click this Not an Agent login, and then just type in my email address and my password. And I didn't like my password. Okay, well, it's not liking my password today. And anyway, okay. I apologize. Things are just not flowing the way they should be today. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and log back into the regular account. So if this was my account, it would go in, if I go in and I would click View As Others, and it would have a list of agents who have given me View As permissions, and I would be able to click on that name and select View As. Otherwise, they can also come up here to this button here. They would type in their agent name, and then they would be able to View As. Again, they would be able to see pretty much everything that you've got on here. They just cannot do in a moment. So a great feature, gives you a lot of help, and you don't have to give out your password or go in and constantly change your password. So I'm going to throw out this My Benefits. This is something that is completely free to you. That doesn't cost you anything unless you actually decide to, take one of the benefits. But this is just a way for Integrity to give back to our agents. They leveraged their size and their scale, worked with all of these different companies to be able to offer you discounts on products and services. So they actually created their own Integrity Health Plan. So if you don't have insurance, here's a way for you to go in and get a Medicare Advantage, or excuse me, not a Medicare Advantage, uh, an HMO or PPO. I don't remember which one it is, but you can get an Integrity Health Plan. I haven't checked it out, but I'm being told that the benefits are good and the rates are competitive. So I'll just throw that out. You can also save up to 50% on your E&O insurance. You can save money on your AHIP certifications. I know it's that crazy time of year. And if you have continuing ed that you need to complete, you can also save some money on that. Otherwise, they've got other benefits. So you can save money on travel, on office supplies. If you're going to send out gift cards, if you like to buy gift cards for Christmas or anything, it doesn't have to just be for business use. You can also use this for your personal use. So if you're going to take a vacation before AEP with your family, come on here, just see if there are any discounts available for you. Why not? Even if it only saves you $10, it's still $10 in your pocket rather than in somebody else's pocket. So definitely encourage you to come check this out if you've got some time, or if you're heading out to a conference, or like I said, your car breaks down, you need a rental, anything like that. Come in here, see if we've got some discounts. Integrity doesn't get anything out of this. This is just to help. Thank you for being a valued agent, and to just help and try to save some money, because who couldn't use a little extra money in their pocket, or spend a little less, I guess, if that's how you want to say it. So that is a great option for you. All right. So one thing I do want to throw out as well is we've got this Ask Integrity tool. It's this blue eye down in the bottom right corner, and it will pop up the AI, and it'll allow you to ask a lot of different things. If you want to, like, say you're got an appointment coming up with Gus, and maybe it's been a while since you met, you just kind of want a little quick refresher. You can you can go into your client and you can kind of look through your notes, and you can look through the plans and all that. Or you can just say, hey, tell me about my clients. And it'll say, what kind of information do you want? Do you want a call summary? Do you want to know what you guys talked about in your last Zoom call? It'll do that. If you want to just get a summary of your contact, maybe I just want some basic information on my client. And I'm just going to type in the name. And it's going to say, okay, I recognize 3 Johnsons here. Which one do you want? And it's going to pop up a quick overview. So it would even tell you, okay, they're currently enrolled in, the Aetna such and such plan. But right now it's going to say, Gus is 64 years old. He was born on this date, lives in this city. He has 2 providers, 4 prescriptions on record, and gets his meds from this pharmacy. The most recent activity was this. You had a reminder, it was completed on this. So, it's going to give you just a quick overview. It doesn't tell you anything that you have, like you can go into a client profile and add your own personal notes. It's not going to read anything from there, but it will read basic information from their plans, their contact history as far as phone calls, text messages, that kind of thing. So that is one way to use it. You can also say, hey, I need some help, or I want to know about plans in this area. So you can get some quick answers to common questions about plan benefits. I don't know that they've loaded the 2027 plan benefits in there yet, so won't be able to ask about 2027 just yet. But once those are in, you'd be able to say, okay, tell me what changed for this plan in this county from 2026 to 2027. You could say, show me what plans in this county offer a hearing benefit, or chiropractic care, that kind of thing. So rather than having to sort through all the plan benefits on the quoting screen, you can come in here, ask AI, and it will pop up that information for you. You can ask about plan premiums, your copay amounts, the maximum out-of-pocket costs, star ratings, and you can even ask about plan disruptions for the new plan year. That won't be available until right before AEP, but you get the idea. So if I want to say, what carriers offer vision benefit, it would help if I could type benefits in Wayne County, Nebraska. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to capitalize, you don't have to use punctuation. You can just type it in there and it's going to pop up that information. That's going to say, okay, here are the carriers offering vision benefits for the 2026 plan year in your county. So any questions that you ask about plans do require you to list both the county and the state. We've also got this carrier resources option up here. It's also in the Learning Center, but just depends on how you want to access it. So carrier resources, say, I just need Aetna's phone number. That's all I need. And I don't want to have to go hunting for it. I don't want to try and, spend an hour looking for their stupid phone number. You can come in here and say, what is the phone number for Aetna? And it's going to review our resources, and it's going to pop up and say, here's their phone number, here are their hours of operation. Boom, it's done. How do I complete an HRA for Humana? It will pop up the information for you. And it's going to say, here is where you can access that information. Here's the link to their website. Boom, just saved you a huge amount of time versus having to either go out to their website and try to find their phone number, try to find their website, address, whatever. Right now, it's only available for Medicare Advantage and prescription drug plans. I'm hoping that other carriers or other product lines, should say, will be added in the future. But that is an option with Ask Integrity. And again, you can find some of that same information by going to the Learning Center. And over here, we've got Medicare carriers. So you can just click on Aetna and you can see all of the information that we've got available. Their website, where to go to get help with resetting your username and password. If you need to mail something to them, their agent support email address, the different prompts you have to click or to enter when you're on the phone. All of that information is right here. And as it becomes available, we're also adding the 2027 certification instructions for you. So that information is all out there, just designed to help you save some time rather than having to go out and investigate and try to find that information for yourself. So, it does also give you an option when you are running a quote for a client, if that client has certain medications, like maybe heart medications listed, and if you don't have a specialist listed in their providers, the first time you run that quote, AI is going to pop up and say, hey, it looks like they're taking a medication, Eliquis or something, and it'll say, but you don't have a cardiologist listed. Do you want to add a specialist to their providers at this time? You can say yes or no. If you say yes, you can search for providers, or it can even give you some recommendations as far as like, these are some cardiologists in that client's area. So that is just something else that is available out there for you. Okay, let's look at some questions here. Steve, does Integrity integrate with CRMs? And if so, is it a one-way push or both ways? So, long story short, anything that you do in Sunfire or Connecture, Medicare app or Medicare Link, it does not automatically flow back and forth. So if you've got a client built in IntegrityCONNECT, that client will not show up in your Medicare link, and vice versa. Or if you do an application in Medicare link, it's not going to pull that information over to Integrity Connect. At this time, the only way that information flows back and flows from, like, say, Medicare app or Medicare link into Integrity Connect is if, like, say, that policy comes in on a data feed that we get from the carrier. Then you would be able to see that you've got a policy for this client. Just depends on how much information too that we get from that data feed, whether it will automatically link it to your client or if it will show up as an unlinked policy on your dashboard. As far as other CRMs, I know that that is something they are working on, getting that ability to integrate between CRMs, other platforms. I haven't heard that it's available yet, but that is something that they are working on, getting an open API so that information can flow back and forth. Okay. Carol, yes, this session is being recorded and will be sent out to you after the webinar. A CRM like HubSpot or Go High Level, again, I'm not entirely sure at this point that that's been set up and is available, but I know they are working on getting an API set up. So watch for more information to come, because as soon as they get that option out there, we'll be blasting it out to everybody. So that way you know that you can integrate those CRMs now. Okay, great questions. I'll try one more time to get into clients here. Okay. So for the Get Synced, there is a way that you can send a link from the client profile over to the client to invite them to get synced. You can do it either as a marketing campaign or from the client's profile. It's not letting me show you right now, and I apologize. But you can also send out your personalized agent website to that client, and they can come up here and just hit Get Synced. And it's going to say, let's get synced. They will choose which product they are interested in. Now, the products that are displayed will only pull from whatever you have set up under your agent profile. So if you only work with health products or only work with life, those are the only product categories that will display on your Plan Enroll website. And you can set those by going up to your agent profile in this this edit button under product preferences and turning on whatever products you do or do not want to offer. And then just make sure you hit save. So I'm just going to say health. You would enter their name. Let's come up with a different one. Holy snap. Now, I do want to point out that if you have this client already in your system, the information should flow back and forth. However, there are a few little nuances. So if you had them in your system as Wally, but when they do the Get Synced or set up their profile, they use Walleen, the system is going to recognize that as a difference or a discrepancy, and so it might not sync up. It might create a different client for you in your profile. Okay. Email address, phone number. Mail. We can select the county. And then again, it will make them check this box. Actually, they do not have to check the box if they do not want to receive SMS messages. So it's totally optional whether they select that or not. All right, and then it's going to take them to a sign in. And I'm thinking it's already recognizing me as having an account. Let me just double check. Make sure it didn't. Okay. So it will prompt them to sign up. I'm just going to go ahead and use this one. Hopefully that is. This one. It shouldn't make venom. It should just prompt. Oh, there we go. Okay, so no, that's the wrong one here. Where is it? Not sure why it took them to a login. Should not have done that. Okay. Threw in a different email address. Let's see. Maybe that other one is just automatically tied to. What's it not liking? What's it not liking here? Okay, login there. There we go. There we go. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to take them on to the next step. I don't know why it was prompting for a login, but anyway. So here's where they could add their pharmacy. And it will bring up a list based on their current area within 5 miles. They can also change that to if they want. Let's go ahead, just select Walgreens, add pharmacy. They can add their doctors. Just type in Smith and see what comes up. And they can select more than one location here. In fact, we encourage them to select any locations where they see that doctor. That way, if one location isn't in network, then the other ones might be. Okay, so when they're done, and they don't want to, if they don't want to enter this information, they don't have to. They can hit skip if they want. Just the whole idea of Client Sync is for them to be able to enter in all this information and have it automatically send it over to you. So I'm just going to type in a quick medication here. Now, it is important that they choose the correct one. Capsules are typically not covered, but tablets are. So I would assume that they would be able to know which one they are taking, but maybe just kind of give them a reminder. And they can change this. So if they take it twice a day, or if they take, they get a 3-month supply at one time, they can change all that. Okay. They can skip this if they don't want to tell us about your current coverage. The travel, skip that. This just kind of gives you a little idea of what's more important to them. Skip it. Here they can request a scope of appointment. It automatically prompts them to do that as part of the process. Boom, now you've got that scope recorded and attached to that customer. And then it takes them to the policy information. It's going to say, okay, let's take a look at some plans in your area. I don't want to look at their current plan. Here is where it's going to prompt them to create that password. So okay, so it doesn't like the password. All right, it's going to be one of those days when things are just not working the way they're supposed to. Anyway, they would be able to complete their profile then go in and look at some different plans that are available in their area. So, okay. Back to some questions. Steve, quick answer on CRMs kind of just depends. They're working on it. It's just not available yet. Okay. Carol, having some problems uploading your leads, give me a call after the webinar, and I'd be glad to help you out. You can also send me your client list. Sometimes there's just something that needs to be tweaked on there, like maybe it's the format of the phone number, or it doesn't like that a zip code has the 4 extra numbers after it. Sometimes I can just kind of glance through the data and say, oh, okay, here's the problem. I can quickly reformat it for you and send it back to you, and then it uploads just fine. So touch base with me after the webinar, and I'll see if I can help you get those all uploaded for you. Okay. All right. Okay, this is a great question, Michael, and I wish I had a perfect answer for you. So why are some doctor locations in network and some are out of network? That is all determined by the carrier. I don't know why they determine, hey, we'll pay if they go see the one on the location on Main Street, but they won't if you go to the one on 35th Street. I don't know why carriers choose that, but that is all based on data that we get from the carrier. So they give us feeds that tell us for this plan, this doctor, this location is in network. I think it's really wild that maybe for a PPO that doctor is in network, but for an HMO they're not. I really don't know how carriers determine all of that, but our system will reflect the information that we get from the carrier. And if you're questioning anything, always we encourage you to go out to that carrier's website just to double check. Maybe they have updated their network and just haven't provided us the updated data feed yet. So always does not hurt anything to go in and just double check those doctors on the carrier's website. Okay. Carol, yes, please do give me a call afterwards and I will help you out with that. Okay, well, I really wish I could have shown you more about ClientSync and how to do all of that through the system. If that is something that you are interested in, reach out to me after the webinar. I'd be glad to help you out. They do also have a great website. It's events.integrity.com that has hundreds of recordings of webinars that Integrity has done on all of the different topics. So it can be the quick tech tips. Those are usually about 10 to 15 minutes long, and they cover a wide variety of subjects. Make sure you hit view more because they do have a ton of topics out there. And there's always this extra arrow button at the bottom. So you can see they've got tons and tons of just quick 15-minute webinars. You can also see, if you go to their health tech, you can see the more detailed webinars. These are usually an hour or so that go really in depth into the different features and the different opportunities that Integrity Connect offers for you guys. And then, of course, there is the upcoming website or webinar list here. I know they were doing one today on submitting MedSups through Integrity Connect because that's a new release. So that webinar should be on here under the health tech here, I would say, within the next day or two. But lots of great information on this website. So I encourage you to go check out some of their webinars if you've got any additional questions. They are a great resource for you guys. And you can always, of course, give us a call as well. Again, it's just events.integrity.com to get to the website with all of their different webinars on it. These are some of Premier's upcoming webinars. So we're going to start back over on August 20th and just kind of do a brief, well, not a brief, an overview of all of the different features that are available in Integrity Connect, more for people who are newer to the platform. So we can just kind of go over, this is, how you add a client. This is where you find this information, how to set up your account, that kind of thing. September 3rd, we're going to do a deep dive on how to submit your Medicare Advantage apps. September 17th, we're going to do a deep dive on submitting your MedSup apps. And again, if you didn't catch it, that is a feature that is now available in Integrity Connect. So no longer do you have to go out to CSG to submit your MedSup apps. You can do that right through Integrity Connect. And then October 1st, we are going to do a deeper dive on some of those new features and enhancements that have been released in Integrity Connect. If you've been in it at all, you know that there is new stuff dropping, I swear, every week. So we're going to kind of just go over all of those new features, talk about them in more detail. And I'm sure there will be new things coming out before that webinar. So stay tuned. And again, Premier is here to help you and to support you, whether it's with questions about Integrity Connect or your contracts or anything. We are here to help you out. So definitely give us a call. I put our platform support number in there. That will get you directly to the team that works strictly with the platform, with Integrity Connect. We also have an email address there that is strictly for the platform support team. And then you can always reach us or reach your marketer, your contracting team, whatever, at that 800 number. And then there is also a live chat feature on integrity.com. If you have questions about the platform, they will ask you for your Integrity partner. You just type in Premier. They'll also provide you our phone number and our email address. If you don't want to have to hang up or, call in or reach out to someone else, you can keep chatting with them and they would be glad to assist you. They've got great people there on the line, on the chat to help you out. So, all right. I understand if you need to drop off because it is a little after 11. Otherwise, I'm going to stay here and answer a couple more questions. It looks like that is all the questions that we have at this time. If you think of anything later, or if you even want to set up an additional training, a one-on-one training or a small group, reach out to me. I'd be glad to help you out with that. And again, there are those webinars as well on Integrity's site. So I appreciate your time and your attention, and I wish you the best of days. Thank you very much. Bye.